LeBron doesn't have to take difficult shots because he makes his whole team take easier shots.
The fourth quarter of an NBA Finals. I think 2007 was one, 2011 another, 2014, 2015. Fourth quarters, he wasn't around to be found in some of those situations.
Kobe's teams became less efficient late in games, even in clutch games. LeBron doesn't give you the same.
In the postseason?
Yes.
Is Kobe Bryant only in the GOAT debate because he died? We're gonna find out with this video here. So while I was scrolling on YouTube, and the algorithm showed me a pretty interesting video. This video is about LeBron James and Kobe Bryant during 2017. So I'm gonna find out here, was Kobe Bryant's GOAT case only made after he died, or was there always a GOAT case? Now I do remember in 2010, 2011, 08, people were saying Kobe Bryant was either better than Jordan or compared to Jordan. I don't agree with any of that, but I do remember those statements.
Greatest player of all time, better than MJ. There you go. Stage is yours.
But when we talk about Kobe Bryant, I never thought I would say it playing against Michael Jordan for so long. But Kobe Bryant, at the end of the day, Dan, because you think I'm a punk, will go down as the greatest basketball player that has ever lived.
What does Michael do better than Kobe?
He's a lockdown defender. That's the only thing that he does superior to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's a better ball handler, a better shooter, and a better scorer, in my opinion.
Game on the line. Kobe or Michael? Who do you want?
It's a coin toss. It really doesn't matter. I'm taking Kobe Bryant.
All right. That's all that.
With LeBron James winning multiple championships since then, becoming the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, do people still feel this way? Well, in 2017, he didn't reach all of those achievements, but he was a three-time champion and pulled off a 3-1 comeback. So let's see if people think Kobe Bryant was still better than LeBron James at this time.
Thing to Michael Jordan, he's amazingly great. LeBron's even better, primarily because he's 2 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier. I mean, he's just a bigger player who has many of the same skills Kobe does. Kobe was better at making difficult shots than maybe anyone who ever lived.
I'd like to know if Kevin Durant is also better than Kobe Bryant, but let's continue.
Right there with Jordan, but LeBron doesn't have to take difficult shots because he makes his whole team take easier shots, which is actually a more valuable skill, except sometimes the way it feels late in games in the fourth quarter, it feels like the guy who can hit the difficult shot may be better than the guy who creates the easy shot, though it's not true. Look, statistical analysis says LeBron is clearly better than Kobe. And in terms of the championships, which I think it is important to count championships when you're talking about the best player or one of the 2 best players on a championship team, LeBron was always unquestionably the best player on every team he played on. Kobe played with Shaq, where he was really 1B to Shaq's 1A when they win the three-peat. I mean, Shaq won the MVP of the finals every year. You could argue
Kobe was bigger against the Spurs, and that was really the finals in the West back then.
But at any rate, when you just count championships, that also misses something if that's the only thing you're doing. Magic and Bird is still an argument. Bird got 3, Magic got 5. I think there's an acknowledgement that Magic was playing with a slightly better team, at least with a deeper bench, than Bird was. And Bird got hurt, so that limited, the championships. So it's not just about championships. In a tiebreaker, maybe you'd look at championships. The truth of the matter is, by all analysis that all the empirical evidence says, it doesn't need to come to a tiebreaker. LeBron's the best player since Michael Jordan. Kobe was better than Duncan, maybe not as good as Shaq. There's no one in the argument with LeBron in this entire era. He spent more time as clearly the best player in the world than any player in my lifetime except Michael Jordan.
And so before I let Stephen A. Smith respond, my response to that would be, I do like that he brought up the context of Kobe Bryant needing to be a key player in that Spurs era, because that was important. But I also do think, well, with LeBron James, during his prime, it is true there wasn't that much players who you can say was better than him. But then you have to ask ourselves, when exactly are we going to start this? Because I would say Kobe Bryant was better than LeBron James up until 2012. And then a couple years after this, in 2018, 2017, even 2019, I think, you can find footage of people saying after the finals that Kevin Durant was better than LeBron James. And they had this debate on ESPN too. So I do think it wasn't as cut as dry as, saying he had this clear run of being the best player. But let's continue.
Well, listen, in that regard and from that vantage point, I agree with you about LeBron James being a better talent. My problem is we don't take the intangibles into consideration nearly as much as we should.
Before I let him continue, I do think it's kind of interesting. He said LeBron James is more talented than Kobe Bryant, because I don't know if he's more talented than Kobe Bryant. Maybe more gifted, maybe, but more talented, I don't know. Intangibles works both ways. In one way, you can say the intangibles of Kobe Bryant, that Mamba mentality, is over LeBron James. But people like LeBron James over Kobe Bryant for his intangibles, passing the ball and knowing when to shoot the ball. At least in their estimation, he's a really good high IQ player when it comes to that. And he's not going to make teammates upset.
And let's look at it from the analysis that you threw out there about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Well, Larry Bird, to me, was a better individual talent because he could shoot considerably better than Magic. He was a fabulous passer at the forward position as well. And obviously, he won championships, just not as many. The reason why you love a comparison like that, Max Kellerman, is because both of them could be relied upon in the clutch to do whatever it is that they do to accentuate their greatness. Whoever they were, whatever made them great, they didn't leave that at the door when money time arrived. When we look at LeBron and Kobe, that's where I think we part ways. Because even though LeBron has matured to that point where there's no longer a question about that as where he's concerned, for a lengthy period of time in his career, it was a huge question. I have religiously stated for the first 46 minutes, I'll take LeBron James over almost anybody in the world all time, with the exception of maybe Jordan. And even that is a maybe. The problem is that when you get to that money time, that clutch, where you sit up there and everything breaks down and you grab the ball and you say, here, take me to the promised land. LeBron is not somebody that's going to be on that list most of the time in a lot of people's eyes. And nobody is going to question that Kobe would be on that list. When money time arrived and it was time to give him the ball, whether it was in the finals against Indiana, whether it was 2001 in the postseason, whether it was 2010 against Boston, or times in between, Kobe at a younger age was so sensational. LeBron had to grow into that role for a significant period of time, and that's the difference. What LeBron learned to have, Kobe had, MJ had. And here's the last point, Max. LeBron was pushed to that elevated level of play. Kobe took it. MJ took it. These are guys that you knew from the moment that moment arrived, they belonged there. LeBron was pushed, coached, nurtured, tutored into that elevated position. That is the difference.
I agree.
As far as the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird conversation, I do think that Larry Bird is probably above Magic Johnson because of the stuff they said. Less help, ability to shoot the ball. In my opinion, he was just more reliable in the clutch. And Magic Johnson is also a clutch player, but I am a proponent of the history of the game. You have to know the history of the game, and when someone says that, they have to recognize that even Magic Johnson had a tragic Johnson performance. I think it was 1984 or 1986. One of those years. Magic Johnson, he fumbled the bag in multiple closing out moments, and just in general, he just wasn't all that great. So I do want to say that, to be fair. If we're going to say Magic is more clutch than LeBron, it's questionable. It's questionable. And then I guess I'd also want to bring up, he said that LeBron James had to mature into winning, and that's 100% the truth. The truth is, in 2007, he didn't play like his best, even in the finals. And then you have his last 2011. He was really, really bad, and so he needed that extra couple years. Maybe Dwayne Wade telling him, like, you got this. But Kobe Bryant, to be fair, he was not as good as LeBron first coming into the NBA, and then Kobe Bryant himself also had to mature as a player as far as passing the ball and trusting his teammates. I will be one of the guys to say Kobe Bryant didn't have anyone to pass the ball to, but the clips are undeniable. I watched Kobe Bryant games and I've been like, damn, bro, why'd you shoot that? Like, it is a real thing.
Agree with that, and had we been having this discussion, even one championship that they won after he choked in Dallas in 10-11, in the 2011 championship when LeBron choked in 4 fourth quarters. In fact, I went on LA radio and apologized openly to Kobe Bryant fans for saying, look, I was wrong about LeBron being better than Kobe. He doesn't, he just choked, and Kobe would never have had a performance like that. Okay,
just not crunch
so
time.
LeBron had to grow into what he grew into. But my God, what does he have to do to eventually prove it? Like, isn't it even more interesting that he was actually able to develop into this and do what he's done the last several finals?
The fourth quarter of an NBA Finals. I think 2007 was one, 2011 another, 2014, 2015. Fourth quarters, he wasn't around to be found in some of those situations. There's no doubt. But he has matured to that level of greatness. So I would ask you this simple question. In the end, what it comes down to, Max, is this, and I'll ask. As great as LeBron is, how much faith did you have in him until, not right now, but as he was maturing, how much faith did you have in him compared to the faith you had in Kobe?
I want to address that. Kobe gives you the feeling that he always wants it, and because of that, you want that guy on your team. But in fact, if you look at actually what happens frequently, Kobe's teams became less efficient late in games, even in clutch games. LeBron doesn't give you the same.
In the postseason?
Yes.
In the channel description, right now it's underrated basketball knowledge. I'm thinking about putting it to context over stats. And so, with context, I want to say here is Kobe Bryant's his clutch stats might be lower than a Kawhi Leonard or even a LeBron James. But what people don't know is, one, Kobe Bryant was going to take the shot for the most part, like he just was going to take the shot. And two, he didn't have the teammates to pass the ball to really. So the teams knew he was going to shoot the ball. And if Kobe Bryant was going to rely on Slava Medvedenko or freaking Smush Parker to take those shots, I just don't think that was also going to be a success for winning as well. I do think that it's tricky when we say Kobe Bryant wasn't an efficient clutch player. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
The postseason?
Yes, LeBron doesn't give you the feeling that he wants it the same way. If the ball was in his hands, he's not as good at wanting to take and then making the difficult shot. But
also, as far as feel, people watch LeBron James now and they feel like they can use this as evidence, but that's not fair and that's not true. If you look at LeBron James in his prime, in his early years, up until pretty much recently for the most part, a couple years from now, LeBron James, when he played basketball, there was many times when he was kind of passive in moments where he didn't really want to take authority. And so I don't necessarily agree with Max Kellerman here. LeBron James, in my opinion, has gotten more clutch over the years. And I don't need the feel to tell me when I was watching back in the days, I also felt like, hey, LeBron, take the ball.
what you find is LeBron James makes his team better close and late in playoff games. So that's what I would say. And I would say, even if you want to say that wasn't the case and Kobe had that over LeBron late in games, because you just say, oh, forget all that statistical mumbo jumbo. All I know is a lot of times among the all-time great teams, it comes down to those last few seconds. I want the guy on my team who wants it in that moment. That would be the tiebreaker if it was a tie. What I'm telling you is if LeBron doesn't quite statistically match up to Michael Jordan by the most sophisticated metrics, but even then Jordan had that, LeBron didn't. What I'm telling you is it's not that close between LeBron and Kobe and all the other areas that thing puts Kobe over the top.
Lastly, I realized Max Kellerman was talking about LeBron James being better than him, but then also being all-time greater than him. That was kind of a tricky conversation because he was saying up until 2012, Kobe Bryant was better than him. I'm assuming still all-time better than him, but LeBron James, in Max Kellerman's eyes, is past Kobe Bryant after his second championship. That's something I actually want to get down to later on as far as Kobe Bryant and Shaq. Like, what year did he actually pass these guys for you? And we'll leave it at this clip. And if you guys are interested in another clip regarding Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, or other clips, whether it be reaction or my other type of videos, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, salam. And before I go, I wasn't sure if Stephen A. Smith was just making debate for the TV's sake, but it did look like he took Kobe Bryant's side.